Hello everyone, Yuffie here, and I welcome you to my resin casting tutorial. Many of you have asked me about how I made my Supercellar Neptune heart brooch, and a lot of you have actually had just general questions about resin casting. This was actually my first resin casting, and just to let you all know, it is very intimidating, but once you do it, it's as easy as baking brownies. It's a lot of fun, it's really easy, you just have to wait about 24 hours for it to dry. The only downside to it is that it can cost a lot of money. What I use to cast my gems and whatnot, I use the Easy Cast Clear Casting Epoxy that I got at Michael's. It's about $13.99. Get it with a coupon if you have one. There's one thing I do not recommend buying. They have a resin dye. It's also $13.99 for like a pack of 3 with the red, blue, and yellow. I don't recommend getting that. One, it's pricey. I tried using it and I didn't really like it. Pretty much you can use anything to dye with. Today I'm going to be dyeing with a red Bic pen for a Sailor Mars brooch, and let's get ready for step number 1. Okay, the first thing you need to do before you do any resin casting is you need to make a mold. If you can't find one, you might have to make one, such as for my Supercellar Neptune brooch. I couldn't find anything in a heart shape that was big enough and deep enough, so I actually bought a brooch online and I used that to make my mold. This is how my mold came out. What you want to do when you're making your mold, I use the Casting Craft Mold Builder. It's a liquid latex. Let me see as I can open it. If you kind of see it in there, it wiggles around. I'll show you because I have to make a mold anyway. For this, you just paint it on, and as you paint it on, I'll show you in a little bit, you want to paint like around your shape too. You see how I have all this extra right here? That's, to help me pick it up later. And make sure that your workspace is covered by wax paper. This is what the front of it looks like. When you're painting, you want to keep adding layers until you really can't see the original shape width. And I painted about 30 to 35 layers. It's a little gloopy and gumpy, but that's just my bad painting job. But it works. One thing you definitely want to get is the mold release and conditioner. Before you even start painting on your liquid latex on this, you want to spray it with the spray so that it doesn't stick or anything. And also before you actually end up doing your resin cast, you do want to spray your mold and make sure it's completely dry first. So, I have to make my own mold for my Aladdin cosplay for Magi. This is for his little gem on his head. I did a really bad job with it because I'm not good with clay. So, let's get started. Okay, now I'm going to be making my mold for my resin cast. Take any paintbrush, really, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to wash it very well when you're done with each layer. But I'm going to put some of the liquid latex on. I already sprayed my mold piece with the spray release mold. Now you see how when I'm painting it, I'm kind of going around it. You definitely want to do that with every layer, as I said before, to make sure you can pick it up later. And it's okay if it gets in your fingers, just wash it off. You'll have to hold it in place for now. As you add more layers, it will stay on its own. And now I know that this clay piece, it's already white, so it's going to be kind of hard to... remember, as I said earlier, you kind of want to cover it until you can't see it anymore. This is going to be a little hard, but I'd say to be safe, do about 20 layers. Then when it's dry, take it out, see if it feels thick enough. But you don't want to make it too thin or else when you put your resin in it, it's not gonna hold up right. You want your casting to be nice and thick. You see how it's kind of thick there? You want it thick enough so that when you lay it flat, it'll stand on its own without any getting too flat. So now leave that for now. Oh, sorry. Just leave that for now, let it dry, and keep adding layers to it. But really, that's it for the liquid latex. You just gotta keep adding layers. Don't like glob it on. I mean, I guess you can. It'll just take forever to dry, but just remember, be patient. Keep adding more layers. When that's done, we can go to the next step, and I will show you which the heart brooch mold, as I have to make one for a commission. So stay tuned.